I'm getting ready to go live on Instagram as well. Thank you for waiting. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Cheer Chat session with your girl, Makiba. It's nice to have this day down in the books with work. It's getting to be that time at work with the end of the quarter. And so busy. But I hope you guys are having a wonderful evening so far. This week's episode is still yet to be named, and I'm waiting for that moment of inspiration. I am interviewing Nicole Dreyer. She is the choreographer and owner of Dance with Dreyer. She was a former NFL cheerleader for the Cincinnati Bengals and a current NHL cheerleader, and we had such a great chat. She was so patient. I had like construction going on in my neighborhood, and so I was literally in my car driving around trying to find a quiet place to record. It was so slightly ratchet, but what can you do? But she was a good sport, and we had a wonderful talk. And excited to figure out what I'm naming her episode. She does such cute choreography to so many cool, fun songs. I think I'm gonna just go through her class list and then pick my favorite one. But I do want to give a shout out to Cassie, who recommended that we connect, Nicole and I, for this episode. She sounds like an amazing friend. She was behind kind of pushing her to launch her own dance audition business, not even audition business, but just her own business with teaching dance classes. And so that's a good friend for you. So shout out to her. Hello, everybody in YouTube land. So I'm excited about your chat today. I just wanted to do something fun, and you guys are taking me back to my days cheering with all of the commentary on formation. So I forget what live it was a while back where we were talking, and I was like, man, we could do a whole episode on formations, and you guys agreed. And so I was like, okay, maybe it's cheer chat material, but I'm going to put something out there. Didn't mean for it to be negative. It's just all in fun, you guys. So, don't take it too seriously, but just kind of like the things that when you're on a team and you're going through formations, there's just those little things that get on your freaking nerves. So we're just going to go through those later. It brought back a lot of fun memories. It just made me laugh. And it was just fun responding to you guys all day. I think I caught most of them. You're going to have to bear with me as I go into my story to find them. I didn't get a chance to list them all and make notes, but they were hilarious. And hi, Ray. How are you? Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining. Seriously, I wish I could just name off everybody up in here. But I have Rose. I'm just going to, calm down, because today, you guys, my daughter, Simone, she graduated from middle school, 8th grade today. And I'm just going to drink real quick because I have to say how it really went down. 1 second. Hold on. So, this has been just a hot mess school year, right? The kids survived. It's like this moment, and you're expecting it to be virtual. And, but I wasn't expecting for it to be a virtual hot ass mess. And I'm cursing. I already wrote to the principal and wrote to the superintendent of Seattle Public Schools, but whatever. It was necessary. So we love our teachers, and they can be really quirky and cute and funny and talented with these hidden things and interests they might have going on. But for this particular graduation ceremony, I expected it to be all about the kids. You know what I'm saying? Give them their shine, let them have their superlative awards. My daughter got best smile. I'm gonna drink for that too. Anyway, I'm gonna drink for that. So I was just expecting a simple, it really wasn't clear. They sent a link. The link wasn't working. Technical difficulties, fine. We all have them. I'm late today because I was having them. But you guys, when it came on, there were these teachers who decided to showcase their musical talent, and they had banjo. I mean, this is Seattle, so it's granola as hell, but it was really just a lot of twanging and clanging on a guitar, and they thought it was this wonderful idea for 25 minutes to wander the halls of the school playing in this band. They stopped in the teacher's lounge, picked up another teacher who, it was just the most, I'm sitting there I'm trying to miss work for this and thinking this is going to be my daughter's little moment to have her little And it was just a hot mess. And then it didn't stop. They kept wandering around the school. They end up with they had somebody with a freaking cello, a drummer. It was just, I don't know what the hell that was. And then thankfully, they pre-recorded like the portion where they said your child's name. They had like yearbook pictures up. I mean, this is Seattle, okay? We have resources. You had a whole year to get your virtual shit together, and I was just very disappointed. And it really was because the focus was not on the kids. Like, I don't want to see the teachers. They were interviewing teachers who were leaving the school, and I'm like, can we do this on Teacher Appreciation Week or something? like Anyway, I'm gonna drink because thank you. She got it from her mom. She's a gorgeous girl, very smart, straight A's. I'm very proud of her, and I was expecting to have my mama moment, and it was really just some extra weird shit with the teachers. So I was not happy. And I mean, it was a nice, well, no, it wasn't nice. It was nice. I just was very direct in saying that this was not the time or the occasion to be going through these teachers' musical closets of reliving some days in a band. Like, no, it was just, I'm not even going to continue on. It needed to be said. And so I said it. So anyway, that's what I do here, y'all. I'm going to continue to sip some rosé real quick. I hope you guys are relaxing. Anyway, that was my evening. So I had to come off of that. I sent my emails and now I feel better. So I put in the story just that the Brooklynettes had, I think this is like their second feature, you guys. They had another article at some point during the season, but the New York Post did an article on the Brooklynettes and how they're killing the game. So like I had said, they are doing an amazing job, and I love that they're getting all this shine and recognition and love. It's just really cool. Go to their story. I think they have, well, whatever, just Google it, New York Post, the article. But yeah, I just check them out. I don't know who else is out there performing. I have not done a very good job with the NBA lately. I've been focusing on NFL auditions, but there are a couple teams still dancing. But for the most part, I see in terms of performing, that's the Brooklynettes. So check them out. I just can't say enough about them. Okay, so audition update is really kind of like a janky update because I'm waiting on like the official squad announcement of who made the team. At least even a picture, but again, with a picture, like, you know, I need some data, I need some info. But I know that there were a lot of developments over the weekend with the final audition showcases for several teams. Seahawks Dancers, one of them. I was so pleased to see Portland representing at the Seahawks Dancers auditions. Michelle Birch was a judge. Durante Lambert was a judge. And so I think that's exciting. Obviously, we have the same ownership as the Portland Trailblazers. And so, you know, great judges, you know, some diversity on the panel, and hopefully just, you know, saw the talent and put together a great team. I'm excited to see who made it. But yeah, you know, the Patriots, the Eagles, the Bengals, they posted a squad pick. So congratulations to everybody who's making it. I'm just waiting to talk about it when I can just like dig into the facts of the squad. I mean, you guys are having orientation, boot camps, and all sorts of things. And I'm just trying to be patient and wait for like a more official announcement of who made the team. But now that like we see the Falcons are underway, you know, Gold Rush is also kind of gearing up for auditions. The Top Cats are in finals, and I was going through their photo gallery from finals, and it just brought me back to a moment because there was a picture of a woman on crutches, and she had like a boot on. I don't know if she injured herself preparing for auditions, but it totally reminded me of my first year auditioning for the Seagulls back when. And it just made me, my heart just was like, oh man, I'm so with her. I tore my hamstring, you guys, at the final audition practice. So this was the first time that I danced in I don't even know how many years. I was 30 years. I mean, it wasn't that I didn't know what I was doing. I just didn't stretch for a kick line. And I don't even know what happened. Maybe it was just my behind not being completely like, you know, in the zone with doing that type of exercise. But I'm doing the kicks and it just sounded like a tree trunk snapped, and my freaking hamstring it was a clean tear. I literally showed up at finals because I just didn't have, I was so proud that I made it to finals and I didn't have the heart to just like not show up at all. But I had to like, I stayed for the rest of the practice to try to learn the choreography. I, practice what I could practice, just trying to tend to this injury. And so I showed up at auditions. I, had to mention to the judges I couldn't do the splits it was just like, I didn't know. I felt good trying to just finish it out, but it was just so heart wrenching. So shout out to whoever homegirl is. I know that's tough, and power to you to just keep just toughen it out. And hopefully it's an injury that you can recover from if you make the team. I don't know what their policy is on that, but it sucks when you hurt yourself, obviously, during the auditions process. So heart goes out to her. But yeah, the Texans are also in the auditions process. I think they were in round 2 as of yesterday. And, the Saints entertainment teams, their deadline is on the 17th. So, we'll see what's happening. I'm still waiting on a formal announcement of the Washington football entertainment team situation. My eyes are peeled. And if I miss anything, you guys are like my eyes and ears as well. Please send it to me, tag me, whatever, and then we can talk about it for Cheer Chat. But yeah, it's a lot. I mean, I've been seeing individual posts of people making the team, and again, congratulations. This is an exciting time, and I'm just, by the end of June, I want to say somebody even goes into early July. Maybe it's the Atlanta Falcons, but very soon we'll have our team set. I don't think you guys have that much time, now that I think about it, to because it does seem like it's a little late, right, for NFL auditions. So you won't have that much time to get life together for August, like preseason games, but it's going to be a busy summer, and I'm hoping to see lots and lots of posts and information so that we can keep chatting about it. But are you guys ready to talk formations? Let's see. Oh my gosh, somebody's on YouTube, in YouTube land. I'm sorry, that's what I say. Says that the Vikings are supposed to have auditions this summer. The date hasn't been announced, but it's a very, very, very good thing that they are talking about it and planning for it, because they've been very, very quiet, which is not really like them. So I'm curious what's going on over there, but that's great. A great update. Thanks for sharing that. I hope we'll hear something similar about the Los Angeles Charger girls that are still incognito. If anybody knows anything, let me know. But as far as I know, it's just zip-diddy-doo-dah with that team. But yeah, I'm excited to see these teams. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, whoa. Somebody said Falcons goes to August 1st. That's hella late. The preseason games are usually like late, like mid to early August. That's crazy. I don't know why I wanted to say it was wrapping up in July, but y'all better be ready to practice. That's all I got to say. You're going to have a lot to do to be ready for game day. And speaking of game day, let's just get into formation. Let's get into formation. You guys were cracking me up. So I kicked this whole conversation off. And like I said, bear with me because I'm going to have to like reference the computer here. But OMG, I can't even do that because it's so set up going live. Are you freaking kidding me right now? I didn't think about that. Okay, going off of memory. All right, so let's see. Somebody said DCC started training camp yesterday. Thank you for the Cowboys update. Why do I keep forgetting? I don't forget. It's just, it's such a production with like the TV show and whatnot, and they haven't quite been on my radar screen, so oopsie. But that's great. So I've been seeing the posts of the ladies, who are going back for another year with their booths. It's just a stunning and talented group of women. I guess they'll be having their show again, and we can kind of see who the stars are going into training camp. But is it on TV? I'm bad with TV, y'all. Y'all have to keep me in the know. I'll pay more attention. I have not even put them on here for some stupid reason, but yes. Okay, DCC isn't officially in training camp, and so I will be watching a lot more closely and reporting next week. Do you guys have favorites with DCC? I think I'm so in love with last year's rookie class that I hope whoever comes back makes it again. I thought it was just like a breath of fresh air and just talent. And maybe it was the way they shot it. I don't know, but got sucked in after not watching for a very, very, very long time. Okay, so now that I cannot look at my goddamn story, you guys will have to refresh my memory. This is so bad. If I wasn't writing emails to principals and superintendents, then I probably would have had time to jot this down. But okay, first and foremost, there were themes, right? So people were talking about just the height, right? When you have the shorties, and I honestly don't think I'm short. I'm 5'3", but in my mind, that's medium. I don't think I'm short at all. But you know, you have your shorties, and then you have the tall people, and you know, there's this dynamic here where the tall people are irritated that they're always in the back. The tall people are, or the short people might end up being on the ends because the taller people are in the middle. So there's a lot of that, right? And honestly, it's an aesthetic thing, probably more so than anything, where you can't have like a tall chick right next to a super, super short chick. And you can't, you know, I get for symmetry purposes that you're going to have some formations where you kind of center it around height, but people were definitely saying it's a pet peeve. They're over it. People have been in the back or the tall person for so long, and they're kind of over that dynamic. And I think short people, not myself, but short people are not really excited about being stuck on the ends, even though short people do get kind of like the front row treatment for some of these formations, right? So that was one theme that I definitely remember. I started the conversation off talking about like, just, you know, I love pre-game come outs where you're traveling across yard lines and you have all these formation changes going on, and you could be on one side of the field 1 minute, you know, another side of the field the next. But, you know, when you are maybe a little vertically challenged, it is not easy to just haul ass in a cute fashion, doing these dance moves over to like clear on the other side of the field. Like I've had my share of just straight up hauling ass and not looking cute doing it, like literally looking a hot mess, because you can't look cute and prancing around and doing all these cute little sachets and cute little steps. You just look like a psycho trying to get to your spot. And so that was definitely one of my pet peeves. I can't even remember the second one that I said, but just being on the end, you know, like when you're in your squad lines on the sidelines, you know, there's the front row, back row, and everybody who's kind of like in that middle section, they're near the captain, they see everything being called out. And when you're on the far end and you're spaced out, like, what was it, 2.5 yards to 5 yards apart, you can easily like miss some shit. And you can either be dancing all by yourself, doing something because you didn't see that they called it down, or you miss the little fillers that they call out. And so it's a little bit challenging. And that was kind of the thing that I had mentioned. Some of the other themes, and again, y'all helped me out, but there were so many good ones. Just check out my story after I'm not live anymore and you can access it. Was just like the laziness in formations, you know what I'm saying? Where like it's the same pyramid over and over again, or some not that much of a variation. I mean, your number of dancers is set for the year. So I get that maybe there's just not that many triangles and hexagons and whatever formations you can come up with. But somebody made a good point that like bands do it all the time. Like they figure out a creative way of having formations and transitions and things that are visual. And especially with NFL, like that's something that you should still be doing, whether you're in the end zone or not. So I think people were like not really feeling this lazy, same old vibe. Whether that's having like the same favorite people in the front every routine. And I wanted to talk about that because like we all get it, right? There's like whoever catches the director or coach's eye and who they like to see, you know, and it's like, I think once they have in their mind, like this person brings it and kills it, like they just stop looking at everybody else, frankly. Like they see everybody as a whole to make sure everybody's together and clean and whatnot. But I just feel like when they have their favorites of who they're used to seeing front and center, they just don't really depart from that much. Or people were saying like vets, you know, apparently I had a bad connection. But, you know, like the vets and just kind of like or whether it's seniority or favorites or whatever, where they just have the same people in the front and center all the time. Like, I think the fans, frankly, get a little bored with that too. It's just kind of like, because your eyes do kind of gravitate towards the middle of a formation. So I think people were kind of like, you know, just switch it up a little bit. Just super, super switch it up. It would help, you know what I mean? Because people are tired of seeing the same old same. And I just think if you got like, imagine you're somebody that's always in the back, right, in a formation, and the coach calls it out, and they're like, Makiba, you're front and center, or you're whatever, you're in the front row. Not that you shouldn't be dancing this hard all the time, but you're gonna get a chance to like show yourself in a whole new way. I feel like you're just going to be hyped on a different level, and you're going to be like, I'm about to show these people what I'm doing and what I'm working with. And I just feel like it would just add some different energy. You know what I mean? Or maybe the people who are always in the front are just kind of coasting on that vibe a little bit too. And so maybe if you are in the back row, you got to fight for your shine a little bit. I don't know. It's not a competition. It's a healthy one. And you should always be dancing hard and to be seen and standing out in that kind of a way. But I think the formations end up getting people complacent in one way or the other. People, I think, are helping me out with some of the comments, and I love you for it. Let's see. Somebody said my little legs are flying across the field. Yeah, like if you're not super tall, it's just not easy to travel very far to get to these formations. And it just bugged me because it's just not a pretty look when you see everybody kind of cutesy doing something and you see somebody that's really stretching it and really kind of like, they don't look as graceful. You know what I mean? You can only look so great when you're traveling 25 yards. That's just my 2 cents. But what were some of the other things that you guys were mentioning? I know there was a comment about just kind of like basing formations off. Oh my gosh, people are actually texting me. I love it. And now I don't even know how I'm going to be able to see it without pausing. But you know what? I might just do it because I'm missing all my content here and it's really embarrassing. But I know there was a comment about, like changing formations to kind of spread out the people of color on a team. And that is something that happens a lot. And when you think about it, like they don't really make that same effort when it comes to a group of white people being all together. Like there's not this, but if you have like 3 Black people all kind of in an area, then it's like, like, whoa, we got to spread them one out here, here, here. And that's kind of, it's just not cool. You know what I mean? Because if it's truly based on who's catching your eye or talent or entertainment value and people are bringing it, somebody said they should just be in the front, like, period. Like, don't just spread it out just because of that aesthetic look and vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do it. And then let me see. Somebody said something along okay, you guys love me, right? You don't mind. I'm pausing. Pausing for 5 seconds. And hopefully I'm still even on live. Okay, let's see if I'm still live. Jesus. Okay, I took a peek. I don't even know how this goes with the stupid iPhone. Anyway, okay, now I'm hot. Somebody said when when people miss practice and you have to make changes or people don't want to make changes, and so sometimes you'll have like a hole in the formation because people just don't want to adjust, or there's all these last minute changes on game day where you're having to change ripples, or like, especially when it's like muscle memory from practicing all the time and you're used to the way that you used to travel to get to your next formation. And now when you make changes, it's all people running into each other. Like, it's just a little bit of a hot mess. So people are mentioning that. And then, when you're at game day, there are times, and I don't know I think the NBA has it a little bit more structured in terms of time on the court, even though guys, I think, can just shoot around whenever the hell they want to. But like for NFL, when you're trying to set routines on the field, for any given reason, you might not be able to access the entire field. Like you may not even get to run formations at all. With the Seahawks, we had it all the time where they were painting the dang on logo in the middle of the field. And so they would have it like coned off, roped off, and you couldn't actually set our come out and our final dance in the middle of the field. You couldn't set it, and you're really having to wing it on game day. And that always gives you a little like anxiety a little bit. I mean, we're professionals, we do what we need to do. And you just hope that you're just using your peripheral and that you can kind of like be lined up. But that was definitely something that people mentioned. Somebody's just giving an update on training camp. Thank you very much. 17 rookies and 27 returning